FC Edmonton Soccer, starting now on City. Brought to you by City, the Fath Group, High Signs, and Earthwater.
Looking to drive one from long range, and he's hit the top corner. It's a beauty for Daryl Fordyce. Here, and Lang's just gone past his marker and driven one into the back of the net. And FC Edmonton are on fire this afternoon. The Royal Canadian Artillery Band doing the anthems today on Canadian Armed Forces Appreciation Day here at Clarke Stadium, and today's game presented by the Military Family Resource Centre in Edmonton. The rubber match between FC Edmonton and Tampa Bay Rowdies, a June defeat for the Eddies. Shriver among the scorers in that 2-1 victory for Tampa Bay, and a 1-0 victory. The Eddies getting a win thanks to an own goal in July. So this one to see who can take the spoils in the best of three. FC Edmonton against Tampa Bay Rowdies. And you can see the military theme in the game today, a tank right behind the goal. And a couple of big military vehicles outside the stadium as well. Here's the coin toss brought to you by A&W. In the middle, the captains Saragossa and Albert Watson for FC Edmonton. Big game, this one for the Eddies as well. Conditions fairly cool, but pretty good for a game of footy today as the captains get together in the middle there. Let's take a look at who both managers are picking to go out and play the game today. The starting lineups brought to you by Waterloo Ford Lincoln. And for FC Edmonton, that forced change meaning Tomi Amiobi not in the lineup. Van Oekel continuing in goal, played a very good game last week. A back four of Zeeby, Watson, Roberts, and Johan Smith. Eddie Edward in the middle, just in front of the back four. Rowdies and Cruz in the midfield, with Lang and Correa playing wide on the right and left respectively, and Daryl Fordyce on his own up front for the Eddies today. And for the Rowdies, Matt Pickens in goal. Back four of Ben Sweat, Rich Bolshan, Makandawiri, and Agbosamondi in the middle of the defense there. Robert Hernandez, Marcelo Zaragoza, Juan Guerra, and Corey Herzog, the ex-FC Edmonton player, making up the midfield. Georgi Hristov just behind Brian Shriver, who always seems to play well here in Edmonton, and he's back in the lineup for Tampa Bay today. Now the weather report brought to you by AMA Rewards. Check out special ticket offers for AMA members at fcedmonton.com. And you can see a slight breeze there. Only 11 degrees. And dry conditions, but some menacing clouds above the stadium as well today. Some of the fans a little bundled up. Not too bad for the players, though. Nice, comfortable conditions for them. Some final words from the skipper, Albert Watson, and the supporters club getting ready to get behind their team this afternoon at Clarke Stadium.
Yeah, it's a classic case of the Alberta weather that if you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. Yesterday it was beautiful, like summer conditions, mid-20s, and the temperatures just plummeted overnight.
The goalie matchups now. Matt Van Oekel starting for the Eddies, playing himself into a real rich vein of form. Some highlight reel saves last week, and in between the sticks for Tampa, Matt Pickens. Cruz and Fordyce in the center spot, getting ready to kick things off, and here we are, underway. FC Edmonton attacking the goal to our right, playing all in blue today against Tampa in the yellow. Johan Smith, an early pass to Lang down the left-hand side. Lang will try and get on the end of this one and will win an early throw-in right down by the corner flag for FC Edmonton, starting brightly here at Clarke Stadium today.
Lang just back from duty with the Jamaican national team. They got quite a scare, but came back to qualify for the next round.
Good throw by Lang, headed away well by Tampa. Lang this time nods it into the area. Cruz gets a little flick on it too, but that's going to be easy for Pickens in goal for Tampa.
A few of the Eddies, Lang was away at international duty with Jamaica. St. Ignasi was away with Gambia, African Cup of Nations qualifying, and understand he had quite the trip back to Edmonton. Several flights, cancellations, long layovers, and that's why he's not starting today. He's pretty beat.
Colin Miller said that he was a bit of a zombie after that journey, so not in the starting lineup, but on the bench today for the Eddies. It's a chance for Pablo Cruz to get a full match today, and he's in possession now. You can tell with that mohawk haircut. He's found Correa. Correa wide to the right, and Zeeby. It's a good start by FC Edmonton. Cruz looking to play in Correa, and he sidesteps his man and wins an early free kick right in around Lance Lang range here, just to the right of the D.
Lance Lang going to retrieve the ball and walk it over himself.
Nice pass forward by Cruz. Correa just a nice bit of skill and a trip for a clear free kick to the Eddies.
Yeah, Agbosamondi leaves the trailing leg in after he realizes he's been beat. But really, if he doesn't leave that trailing leg out there, Correa's going to dash into the penalty area. That's a foul that the boss has to take in that situation, because otherwise Correa has got him beat. He's got a gap and a look at goal. So then, you say there are good fouls out there. I would say that once Agbosamondi was beat, it's a good foul to make, because otherwise, if Correa goes by, there's real problems with Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Lance Lang from the free kick. 5 men in the wall. They're showing him a lot of respect. He's drilled it straight into the wall, which does its job, standing firm. And that's a good defensive play by the Tampa backline. FC Edmonton very quick on top of the ball again, though, there. This is a strong start, and they win the throw-in. It's Zeeby. Zeeby tackled by Corey Herzog, who the fans will remember. He came and played a couple of games when he was part of the Vancouver setup for FC Edmonton.
He actually scored a great goal in the Canadian Championships for Vancouver against FC Edmonton, then came here on loan afterwards. Spent about half a season here.
Johan Smith on the left-hand side. He has support from Eddie Edward, continuing in that holding midfield role, but he's adapting well to this bit of a rejig lineup because of injuries to the FC Edmonton backline. Here's Fordyce into the midfield for Korea. Some nice passing in the early stages by FC Edmonton. Roberts, knowing that he had to play that one with Shriver lurking, and puts it out to concede the throw-in. Top scorer for Tampa Bay, Maicon Santos, not here today. He's injured, but Shriver more than a threat, and as we've both mentioned already, has an eye for a goal whenever he's in Alberta's capital.
And that's the thing with the Rowdies. They're just so deep on offense. They have players that are leaving at home. Just a number of forwards. Maicon Santos, the former Toronto FC player, like a lot of the Rowdies are, injured, not available. Omar Salgado, the former Whitecap, he's back in Tampa. They have Freddie Adu on the bench. They just got a lot of options out there, and a team that's very heavy and very deep in the offensive side.
Goal kick for Van Oekel here. Struck it cleanly, straight through the middle. Fordyce gets a flick. Cruz is right behind there, and it was a very late intervention by Agbosamonde that stopped his route to goal. Good defensive play by the man that they nicknamed the Boss. Going back again by the Eddies here with Johan Smith on the left wing. That's going to be a free kick, I think, for a handball against Christian Rodales, and the Eddies just get the ball moving again to Roberts.
That was a good last-second intervention by Agbosamonde. Else, Matt Van Oekel would have set Pablo Cruz up on a break.
That's a nice cross-field pass by Cruz to the right wing, looking to pick out Zeeby, but Ben Sweat does a good job just blocking his route to the ball there and shepherding it into touch so that he has the throw in. Right down by that tank, you can see behind the goal there with some Canadian soldiers marking Canadian Armed Forces Day in Edmonton today. Roberts cushioning the header to the right-hand side, and Watson, an acrobatic volley ball, but it's going to drop to Shriver on the left-hand side. Watson back into position there as he tries to police Shriver and gets a few good little tackles at the ball. Shriver's still going. Support from Corey Herzog. Tampa Bay trying to get their passing game going. It's with Ben Sweat. Not a bad turn by the defender, but almost dummied himself. Regained his footing and finds Agbosamonde. Agbosamonde playing the ball up to the left wing of Herzog. Picking out Shriver. Watson followed him all the way after that tussle on the right-hand side. It's with Sweat again, looking to thread one inside the fullbacks, and Watson does a good job making sure that Herzog can't get to the ball, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Eddies.
Twice the big man has gone out, and he's played plays on the left wing, and he's made good plays there with Albert Watson. And the Eddies last week, Michael Noni got a red card about 25 minutes into the game. They had to play down a man for about 65 minutes. But as I was saying before, there's a couple of attacks there with the Rowdies down the left wing that Albert Watson had to go and help. And both occasions he did that textbook. Didn't allow the attacker to get inside of him, forced the attacker to the outside, forced the attacker to run out of room. Absolutely perfect and textbook defending there from Albert Watson.
And he's captain Albert Watson. Here he is in possession again, wearing the number 5 as he always does. Picks out Dustin Correa. Done pretty well since he was picked up by Colin Miller. Back in the lineup again today. Already off the mark with 1 goal to his name as an Edmonton player. Edward in the midfield, controls it nicely, just shuffles it alongside him for Rowdies. It's Cruz taking control now. Correa trying to switch the ball out to the right wing, well read and intercepted by Herzog. Tackled by Rowdies. Eddie's fighting hard to win the ball back whenever they lose it. It's been a good, strong start from that perspective. Rowdies thought that Smith was in a different place than he was, and in the end that pass goes astray. Throw in for Tampa.
And I mentioned that game last week there that we had the graphic up for. The Eddies were down a man for 65 minutes, and the reason they got that draw, I mean, they got the late goal, but Matt Van Oekel made some outstanding saves in that game.
Showing lots of grit last weekend as well, just staying in the game when they could. Here's Herzog getting an early shot on goal, and again it's Van Oekel saving his defense. In truth, that one did go straight at him, but still, he's got to save that one, and he does.
There we go. We were talking about the big keeper and the saves he made last week, and on cue, he's called in to make another big stop early in the game. But Herzog with a very good run there. Got goal side of the defender. Was able to get that towards goal, but you're right, it was right at Matt Van Oekel.
Correa pings a pass out to the left and picks out Smith. Now Lance Lang to the middle and Cruz. Colin Miller hoping that Cruz can dictate the play today for the Eddies. Getting a chance in the middle of the park. Here's Rowdies just approaching the edge of the box. Picks out Fordyce, who's going to try one first time. A good response for FC Edmonton. And Pickens finding that pretty easy, as did Van Oekel from the shot at the other end, and just catches that one in a routine fashion.
There's some space there in midfield for the players to make plays through. And we're seeing both teams been able to get some thrust toward goal. And looks like this is a fairly open game to start off.
Guerra for Tampa Bay. Plays it back into the defense. Gusamonde alongside him is Makanda-Wiri. Makanda-Wiri is going to play a long ball forward. And Roberts gets a touch on it, drops to Shriver. Tampa winning possession back. Approaching the edge of the box is Guerra. Roberts, a nice composed pass out of defense there. Cruz just couldn't get on the end of that one. Well anticipated by Ben Sweat. Makes the break forward here, Sweat. Tackled by Rowdies, just pinching the ball there as the Tampa player tried to go round him. And he's going to pass along the ground to Correa, who's taken this to the edge of the penalty area and then attempted to thread that one through for Lang, but has given possession back to Tampa. It's won back by Johan Smith. Correa again, this time he will play it out wide to the wing, and Lang pressed by two yellow shirts, back into Smith, and now Cruz. Tampa Bay doubling up on Lance Lang there. They know all about his threat. Albert Watson picks up the play. He's attempted to chip one into the channel, but it's gone too far, picked up by Pickens.
And that's one thing the Eddies are going to have to be aware of. If Tampa is bringing out all that kind of help out into the wing for Lance Lang, we saw him being doubled there, like you said there, double teamed. That means that a blue shirt somewhere is going to be wide open. That means somewhere there's going to be an unmarked FC Edmonton player. And the Eddies have got to find a way to move the ball quickly and find out who that open player is, because clearly Tampa Bay is very, very concerned. You see the way they set up. When Lance Lang has the ball, they bring help. That's not a one-man job.
Watson's trying to find out Lang this time. It's a fine crossfield pass. Lang does control it well and keeps the ball in play. Veers inside and gets the ball back from Christian Rowdies. Lang still going. Now Fordyce. Fordyce being clipped at from behind by Gusamonde, not giving him any room at all there. Good defending. Correa forward to Edward. Edward sliding that one inside the fullback. It just gets a bit too much on it, and CB won't get there. It's a goal kick.
But I do think the Eddies are able to slide the ball inside and create a couple of short passes there, and then Eddie Edward with the pass that's a little heavy and goes long. But the reason they were able to shuffle that ball around the inside again is because Tampa Bay is bringing out help from Lance Lang, and they're creating an opening in the middle of the park.
Gusamonde, long ball forward. That's going to be easy for Watson. He'll take that all day long. Drops to Sweat.
This is clearly the Rowdies' way of saying someone else on your team is going to have to beat us. We're not going to let Lance Lang beat us, but we're challenging you. We're going to give you some gaps in order to shut down Lance Lang, and we'll see if you can take advantage of that.
It's a reputation that Lance Lang's built for himself the past couple of seasons in the North American Soccer League. See Edmonton's danger man. Smith trying to win the ball from behind there, but maybe a push. Referee on the spot to award the free kick to Tampa Bay. Just climbing a bit on his man, and not too much doubt about that free kick given against Smith. Robert Hernandez going down under the challenge. The win last week for Tampa, the first for coach Stuart Campbell since taking over, and he's gone on to take 4 points out of the last 6 for Tampa Bay. Former Leicester City player. The box for Herzog. Herzog shuffles past one man and does well to get that ball into Hernandez, but again a last-ditch tackle and a good one in the Eddies' defense. Cruz with some space in the midfield here. Just slows the play down and picks out Smith. Lang's going to fire a cross-field breaking pass, attempting to play it over the top of Sweat, but Sweat getting his head to that one. Watson in the chase here, he'll get there first and attempt to find Correa. Correa's just sneaked possession back for the Eddies there. Good job by him. To Smith. Has to go on the inside. Doesn't quite work out. Roberts chesting that one down. Winning the ball back to find Watson. Great pass to the edge of the area. Fordyce is going to strike one. It's deflected and will go wide for a corner kick.
And again, this is what we see from Tampa, trying to close down Lance Lang, bringing a lot of bodies out to the wing, more than you normally see a team do on the outside. And Lang's able to find the ball in the middle. You can see the players heading towards him, trying to cut off his path. And at least Fordyce one-on-one in the middle of the park.
Correa's going to take this corner from the right wing. And Watson getting a strike on goal and scoring. Edmonton with a 1-0 lead thanks to the captain, an acrobatic lancing volley into the bottom corner from that pass by Dustin Correa. 1-0 Edmonton.
What reflexes there by Albert Watson. I just talked about earlier in the game how well he was defending. He's enjoying that. Well, he's enjoying that moment a lot. And you can see he just bends his body, just angles it. No chance for Matt Pickens there as he finds the corner. But you do have to ask yourself, why doesn't Tampa have a man on the corner post again? You see this so much in soccer. It's basic defending 101. If there's a man on the corner post, they clear that away. But instead, they leave that open. They decide to mark differently, and they leave the post open. And Watson, with that ball, he finds it. Great work by Albert Watson to contort his body to get that ball on goal. But awful, awful marking and awful, awful positioning by Tampa on the corner kick.
Watson finishing with a block, the Eddie skipper, as if he was a centre forward there. That was a nice finish. And not much chance for Pickens at all. It was low. He hit the side netting and might have grazed the paintwork of the post. It was perfectly placed. And no more than the Eddies really deserve a very strong start to the match. And after 17 minutes, a 1-0 advantage.
And let's get back to that. That corner kick was set up on Fordyce's shot where he was one-on-one with the defender. And again, that is led to that strategy where Tampa's working so hard to shut down the wing play of the Eddies and spreading themselves out so much that they're leaving the middle of the park somewhat exposed.
Corner given from Fordyce's deflected shot. And that's how the Eddies got themselves the corner in the first place.
Said just a few minutes ago, it looks like Tampa's strategy is we're not going to let Lance Lang beat us. You have to beat us with somebody else. Well, somebody else has a goal.
And that FC Edmonton goal is another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House of Northern Alberta, courtesy of Pasta Pantry. Roberts. Square pass for Watson. Schreiber chasing, the ball bobbling a little bit, but Watson able to find Correa. Cruz. Alan Zeeby here. Watson field, picks up Cruz again. Cruz gets through two players, he's still going, picks himself up off the ground. Terrific effort there. Gets the ball in for Rowdies. Trying to switch play to find Lang on the left wing. Lang winning a free kick again on the edge of the penalty box for Edmonton.
There you see two players again coming out to take Lance Lang. Two yellow shirts. One comes out, second comes for help, and it's Hernandez that clips him and knocks him down. I don't know, Gareth. I don't know about the strategy of bringing out two men all the time. I know Lance Lang's a dangerous player, but I just think you're leaving yourself in all sorts of gaps in the middle of the park by doing that. And I think if Lance Lang is able to knock the ball to the top of the box, he's going to find some open blue-shirted players with Tampa worrying so much about him.
Darryl Fordyce hit the back of the net from a free kick. A little bit closer in, but similar to this range last week in injury time. This time he's gone for the height. It deflects off the top of the wall and will go behind for another corner for Edmonton.
Yeah, it looks like Georgi Ristov is down there holding the back of his ankle. He's getting up slowly. And another Tampa player down the other side. So two Tampa players down here looking for treatment.
One of them seemed to take the brunt of that free kick in the wall. The wall did its job, but looked like that might have hurt. Touch dazed there, but going to be okay to continue.
Ristov is really favoring that right leg.
The Eddies scored from their last corner. Correa taking this one again here. Still no men on the posts. Correa's corner goes to the near post. It's cleared with some ease. Correa will get it back. Control difficult from that height, but he's twisting and turning. It'll be an Edmonton throw-in. Referee wants it taken from the correct spot. Zeeby will try again.
You know, I know soccer's become such a counter-attacking game now, and more than ever we've seen teams emphasize being able to break out quickly out of your own end, but I don't love the idea of leaving the posts unguarded. And I know they do that to think that they can break out faster, get off the line, move the line ahead. But call me old school, but I like the idea of covering your net as much as you can.
Edward winning the ball back on the edge of the penalty area. Edward attempted to go to the left-hand side. He seemed to have gone down in some discomfort there, but play continues. Goal scorer Albert Watson in possession. Now Alan Zeeby again. Chris Ramonde coming across to end that attack. It's going to be a throw-in for Edmonton. before battling away for possession. Out by Zeeby, but Sweat doing a very fine job there, and Herzog playing it up the line. It's going to be another throw-in for the Eddies. Stuart Campbell up from the touchline in his technical area there and waving his hands, telling his team to calm down a little bit, all a little bit frenetic for Tampa Bay at the moment.
They're really struggling to get the ball out of their own half. They get even if they win a ball back, they just knock it out and Edmonton gets the ball back.
And you can hear Stuart Campbell from up here with those orders to his players on the pitch. Roberts' ball over the top is going to be easily claimed by Pickens, rolls it out to Guerra. Herzog on the left wing. That's going to be a foul against Christian Rowdies. Free kick Tampa Bay. Snap ball forward, picking out Fordyce, and Fordyce is going to send that through for Lang. Lang in a chase to get there. He will do so. Cuts it back, but nobody there. It was such a quick break. Tampa Bay defended it with ease. It's with Rowdies on the right-hand side. Now Dustin Correa. Just forward to Fordyce. Fordyce not able to control that. And that's Pickens' ball.
I don't know if I've seen the Eddies this strong in the middle of the park in a game this year where they're able to put 3-4 passes together, and even when they're just missing, like we saw that pass there for Daryl Fordyce, they're just missing. They have some good ideas going forward. Daryl Fordyce with a good run there, but they're dangerous, and they're putting Tampa under a lot of pressure.
Kind of weary here for Tampa as they attempt to bring the ball out of defense and chip one over the top. That's going to be Roberts' ball. Drops in the end to Albert Watson, and now Zeeby. Nice bit of skill by Correa there. He's beaten two beautifully and picked out Rowdies. That was worth the admission alone for some of the fans.
The Eddies just seem very relaxed out there right now. Letting they're very confident on the ball, but not trying to find what's not there. Making a lot of good passes.
Correa infield to Eddie Edward. Edward sidestepping one man and finding Correa edge of the box. Correa takes another touch and just ran out of room there, and Tampa adjusted to get the clearance. Roberts working it back to Van Oekel. And now Edward. Tireless work there by Shriver, but taken out of the play by Van Oekel.
But that's what it's been a lot in this first half. Tampa with the panic clearance, and the Eddies just get the ball back and start working it into the Tampa end again. I don't know what the possession stats are right now, but I would feel it's pretty it feels like it's lopsided in Edmonton's favor.
Eddies leading 1-0. Watson's goal the difference as Rowdies attempts a volley scissor kick style on the edge of the box there. Didn't quite work out for him. It's going to go behind for a goal kick.
Christian Rowdies tries something spectacular there, but again, Tampa Bay really lacking in numbers in the middle of their own defense. Rowdies had a lot of space. It was a one-on-one situation, and you can't just leave the middle, the area in front of your keeper so spare with lack of defenders in front of them. But again, they're spreading out so wide to try to take away the Eddies' wing play that they are sacrificing the middle of the park.
Rowdies' attempted header bounces back to him. He has possession again, this time an easier pass to find Zeeby. Zeeby will pick out Watson. Watson forward to Edward. In the end, he's under a little bit of pressure, plays it back for Matt Van Oekel, and Roberts takes up the play. Cruz linking up well with Rowdies in this game. They've got a good understanding And Roberts has played a beautiful pass into the path of Zeeby, just put a bit too much on it, and Zeeby won't get there. Good attempt.
Like that, though. As he called him there, he pointed out that was a good idea. Liked the idea a lot, able to spread out, isolate Alan Zeeby on the right wing. The Eddies have been doing so much stuff down the left.
All right. Kick.
Shriver trying to get in behind Watson here. Watson's done well to play the ball back for Van Oekelen. First time he clears it, it'll drop for Herzog. Playing it forward again. Shriver coming back from an offside position, and Watson gets another clearance, this time into towards Lance Lang. Lang beaten in the air. It drops down for Hernandez.
When Watson hit that ball, he stayed down. I think he might just stretch something. He's back up, and he's walking it off.
Ben Sweat to the edge of the penalty area. Watson, safety first, concedes the throw. Kandawiri in possession here for Tampa Bay. Good run up the right wing and a throw in for Tampa. In fact, it's going to be a free kick, which Ristov will take from that right-hand side. Cross goes in towards the penalty spot, and Buxamonde beats Roberts in the air, but his header over the top. A little bit of a warning shot to the Eddies.
Oh, the Eddies get off lucky that time. Buxamonde has a clear open header, and he knocks it over the goal. Gets his head just a little too far under the ball there, running across Milan Roberts, and he had a good look.
Perhaps the presence of Roberts just throwing him off a touch as well there, but dominantly winning the header in the area. Still 1-0 to FC Edmonton. We've played half an hour at Clarke Stadium. Another attack building here for the Eddies. Cruz. That's Korea. Can't keep the ball in play. It'll be a throw-in.
But you're right, Garrett. That was a warning shot for the Eddies. The Eddies have dominated this game so far, but warning that you gotta mark your man. You can't leave gaps like that. And off the free kick there, it was a great look for Buxamonde.
Bit of a late challenge there on Christian Rowdies, who's in some discomfort on the ground there. Korea heading the ball in towards him. He got the ball forward, and it was just perhaps the way he fell a little bit awkwardly under challenge from Zaragoza. So the free kick given to FC Edmonton. He's going to be okay, back up on his feet, no need for the trainer. And here's another chance for the Eddies though. Free kick in a good position. Korea.
Interesting that's not Lance Lang on the end of this one. He's just a little too far out. They decide this one's a better one to pop into the penalty area.
Rowdies and Korea over the ball here. It's Dustin Korea. Had a good shape to it, but defended well. Lang is up there, wins the header back for the Eddies. Korea just pokes this one into the path of Rowdies. He cuts it back nicely, but it's well defended.
Really interesting that on that free kick, Buxamonde, their central defender, had gone all the way over to the other wing to mark Lance Lang and not stay in the middle.
Flags up there as Lang's ball comes across. An early ball into the box, with the flag up very early and the free kick given in favor of Tampa. Free kick by Pickens. Up goes Eddie Edward. Going to drop for Schreiber. Plays it out to Corey Herzog. Herzog, one of the scorers in that 2-0 win over New York, which really energized Tampa Bay. The sun coming out through the clouds at FC Edmonton, turning into a nice day in Alberta's capital for the game.
So with the sun out, and I talked about the temperature earlier, this is actually perfect soccer weather. Not too hot, players can go for a long time. Not a lot of fatigue. Well, there'll be fatigue obviously setting in, but not that same level when you play in the hot summer conditions.
Correa stealing the ball again, winning possession back for FC Edmonton. He's won a lot of 50-50 challenges today, showing off his skills as well there as he picks out Cruz. Cruz is going to try and go all alone and gets the shot away and perhaps didn't quite get the power he was looking for. Pickens made the save, but another attacking move from FC Edmonton there.
I'm pretty sure this takes his deflection here. I think it came off of Kindaware. And that caused Pickens a little bit of problems as that ball didn't quite jump off the foot as he would have expected, because Cruz's shot was deflected.
Correa looking very confident today, growing into the game at FC Edmonton. And
he's been given an exceptional amount of room to move in off of that right wing and shuffle in on his left foot. He's a left-footed player on the right wing and able to shuffle inside. He's been able to go inside all day long with the tuck in and then have a shot or have a go.
Also showing in his game as well, though, winning the ball back well today for FC Edmonton.
Yeah, the Eddies have been a lot of positives so far this half. There was the early Herzog chance that he put right at Matt Van Oekel, and then the boss had a chance there on the header. But other than that, the Eddies have just dominated possession and really have kept the ball a lot in Tampa's half of the field.
Very good play by Alan Zeeby to pick out Correa. Correa looks like that ball's on the end of a piece of string off his toe today. He's in very good control. Lang just loses out on that occasion. There's a counter on here for Tampa. It's been slid further than Herzog would have liked, and Zeeby, though, doesn't find touch. Tampa still in possession here with Guerra, and now Herzog again, edge of the penalty box, looks for the 1-2. It drops for Guerra. He's just really fallen down there. That's never a penalty in a million years. There were some appeals, but absolutely no chance.
Guerra should see a yellow card for that. That's a horrible dive. Let's call it what it is. He didn't fall down. He dove.
Breaking the play here, the Eddies have a throw-in. Prior to that speculative penalty appeal. Well, that's kind of the aftermath of it.
Saw Pablo Cruz right away holding up the card for that. It was pretty clear. Even from here, you didn't need replay to see. That was, he'd launched himself in the air without contact.
Edmonton lead. Throw in on the right for Tampa Bay Rowdies.
I don't understand it either. Guerra stepped inside. He's actually created a fairly good chance for himself, and he chooses to dive. He hurts his own team. He hurts his own team there, rather than to continue with the play and maybe keep the scoring chance going.
His team trailing 1-0, trying to get something going here up the right-hand side. Saragossa turns and checks. He's going to play this back into the defense. And now Agbosamonde. Ben Sweat on the left wing, right by the touchline, picks out Schreiber. Schreiber finds Herzog, good pass there. Sweat's on the overlap. Herzog brings it onto his right foot. Correa back there making the interception with his face, but anything works, and it's a throw in for Tampa Bay. Corey Herzog with it, gets the ball back here. This time there is a free kick, and that might have been a little push by Zeeby. Free kick on the edge of the penalty box for Tampa Bay here.
We'll see here if Tampa elects to, the push there by Zeeby. Ristov knows it, feels the hands. That is a foul.
Referee on the spot to award it. And they've thrown a few players forward for this one. Very crowded penalty area as Tampa try to draw level from this free kick. Referee just marking down the magic spray there. Two-man wall of Cruz and Zeeby, the man that conceded this free kick. Van Oekel watching as the ball comes in. It's gone low and a bit too much space in there than perhaps Colin Miller would have liked, but it has been given as a goal kick.
Yeah, I think it brushed off a couple of bodies as it went through, and I think you're right there. When Ristov played that to the middle of the box, I don't think the Eddies were as solid in their line as Colin Miller would have liked.
Got about 7 minutes to halftime, plus maybe some small stoppages, and Edmonton with a 1-0 lead. The goal from Albert Watson in the 16th minute, and a good one too. Really impressive volley into the far corner from a corner kick. Well, this time last week the Eddies were already a man down. Michael Noni sent off.
Stuart Campbell's been coach now of the Rowdies. This is his 4th game. They're 1-1-1 since he took over as the head coach of the club. And we talked about a former Leicester man. I would assume Leicester's start to the Premiership season has him over the moon. A second on the table.
What a good start for them, hasn't it? New manager.
They put Chelsea in the rearview mirror, haven't they?
That's a team that looks like it's struggling at the moment, Chelsea. A lot of people seem to be quite happy about that. Zeeby with the throw in for Edmonton. Johan Smith doing a good job to win the ball back. Called into action again there on the left and finds Lang.
Tampa being more aggressive now on the ball. Not being as complacent, bringing some numbers forward into Edmonton's side of half, not allowing the Eddies to play the ball out as easily as they were for about 30-35 minutes here. Rowdies seem to be now looking to put more pressure on the ball, trying to turn the ball over.
Roberts doing a good job clearing up in defense there, conceding the throw. Simonde bringing the ball forward here and just attempting to play in Herzog. Herzog that tries to make Zeeby play it, but in the end just bundles him over, and it's going to be a goal kick. Referee on the spot again. Good, well refereed first half today.
See Zeeby there with just good position. Herzog tries to force him off of it, but Zeeby strong on the ball. It's a player. I was talking to Alan last week and said he's really hoping that maybe he's going to get called up for the Canadian Olympic program, qualifying for the Olympics coming soon in CONCACAF. Born in France, came to Canada when he was 9 years old.
Looked really good this year, hasn't he, Steve, though? I mean, you'd expect him to make those kinds of squads the way he's been playing for FC Edmonton.
Yeah, and the minutes he's getting a lot of first-team minutes, so it's not a player that you bring in and you're worried that he's going to be rusty.
very good performances in defense on either side as well. He can play right or left side, Alan Zeeby. Good versatility. Looked very, very good this season. He's one of two Edmonton-based players across that back four, Milan Roberts being the other one. Two very promising young stars for the team.
It's funny, he didn't, before he moved to Canada, and you think playing in France, he was a young boy, he said he didn't play a lot of organized soccer. It was just a lot of soccer just on the streets or in the parks with his friends, pickup games. But didn't really get into the organized soccer leagues until he got to Canada, in Quebec, where he first moved with his family.
Lance Lang's cross from the left-hand side just going awry there. It's a goal kick. Tampa Bay trailing 1-0, but in possession here with Agbo-Simonde. Zeeby again in defense for the Eddies. Good job by Sweat to force him to play it, which he's done so, and found Correa. Correa showing poise again in possession, but his forward pass aimed at Fordyce doesn't work out. Makande Wiri winning it back, and now it's Sweat. Herzog just muscled out of it by Rowdies, who concedes the free kick. Christoph will take the free kick. Hasn't seen a lot of the ball. They've been totally shut down by the Eddies in this first half. Here he is playing it in towards the edge of the penalty box. It's headed away, but he's going to get a second bite of the cherry from this left-hand side, and he's cut the ball back well. Roberts doesn't get a good clearance on it, but gets away with it, and Zeeby bringing it out of defense. Correa will let that go out for a throw-in, and they'll not be in a rush to take this.
Yeah. Last 10 minutes, Tampa's really upped the pressure, really upped the tempo on the ball. Tried to swarm the Edmonton's ball carrier to try to force some more turnovers. They're definitely up the tempo, and I think Edmonton now smartly trying to slow the tempo down as they're heading towards halftime. The game has changed somewhat since Tampa's upped their pace and have challenged a lot more deeply into Edmonton's territory. They were laying off a lot in the first part of this game and allowing the Eddies to get out of their half rather easily. But now you see yellow shirts coming forward, trying to take space away from Eddies in their own half.
Van Oekel with what could be the last action of the first half. Referee looks at his watch. Van Oekel kicks it off the ground and will win a throw-in for Edmonton. All in right down by the Eddies dugout by the coach Colin Miller there. Correa taking it, and it may drop for Zeeby. Has to get a sliding tackle in there, but it's absolutely fair. Referee has nothing wrong with that. And the ball shuffled out to the right wing. Fordyce just pulls it back and plays it safely into the middle of the park, and Milan Roberts will get the last touch of the half. It is 1-0. FC Edmonton with the lead over Tampa Bay Rowdies. A 16th minute goal by Albert Watson. A nice volleyed finish. The skipper with the only goal of that half, but a very significant one to give FC Edmonton a 1-0 lead in a very strong home performance.
It has been by the Eddies. Tampa Bay came out strong in the last 10 minutes or so, created some half-decent chances, and actually were at least harder to break down. But the first half hour or so, the Eddies really being able to put some passes together and really pressure Tampa in their own end. And what a great goal from Albert Watson.
Super volley from Albert Watson. They were missing Tomi Amiobi. The goals had to come from somewhere, and it came from the skipper in the first half, finding the corner and not giving Pickens any chance at all with his finish.
Yeah, but again, we can look at Tampa, why there are no men on the post there. Obviously, they choose to do marking a little differently, not the traditional way with men on the posts. But I think if they had a man on the post, they're going to look at it and say, well, that's a fairly easy clear out then for the man on the post, just to knock that into out of harm's way.
We are going to hear from both coaches at halftime here, beginning with Stuart Campbell.
Coach Campbell, just maybe your thoughts here on what you've seen so far in the first half.
We've had a couple of chances. I've had Edmonton. Obviously, we're very disappointed to concede a goal from a set piece. We know Edmonton are strong from set pieces. We worked hard on it during the week, so to concede from one of them is really disappointing from our point of view.
It seemed like later in the half you were upping the tempo a little bit and were causing the Eddies more problems in their own half, maybe the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I agree. For whatever reason, we started the game pretty slowly, but then we grew into the half and we were looking to take that into the second half.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Stuart Campbell pointing out they're very disappointed to concede a goal from a set piece, as managers always are, especially the way it did go in. But on balance of play, FC Edmonton coach Colin Miller probably very pleased with that first half performance. Let's go down to the pitch and hear from the coach. Colin, just your analysis of the way your team played in that first half.
Yeah, very pleased. I think football-wise, it's arguably the best footballing performance we've had all season in the first half. We started very lively, jumped all over a few mistakes that Tampa had made, but we created a number of good chances, and we were on the front foot. I'm really pleased how Eddie Edward has settled into that centre of the midfield area. Pablo, as I said earlier on, will give us a different dimension, and really happy. We were a wee bit casual a couple of times, Milan and Alan Zeeby, just letting strikers getting across the face of them for a couple of attempts, so we've got to cut out that. And I think, we've got to keep the tempo up. If we don't keep the tempo up, this is a very good side. So we've got substitutions in mind here at the moment. Pablo hasn't played 90 minutes for a long time, so he'll be one that we'll be looking to change in the next wee while.
Thank you very much, Colin.
Thanks, guys.
Colin Miller, the Eddies coach, very pleased with the performance, and mentioning a couple of performances that he's been really pleased with Cruz playing well in that midfield. But I bet you he was thrilled by this finish. Albert Watson with the only goal of the game, and the Eddies 1-0 up at half-time. Welcome back to Clarke Stadium. Tampa Bay Rowdies about to kick off the second half, trailing 1-0 to FC Edmonton. Albert Watson's goal, the difference between the teams at half-time. Rowdies all in yellow, attacking the goal to our right in this second half. And we're underway for the second 45 minutes. Monde getting an early touch. She was the closest to the target in that first half for the Rowdies. Olsen chipping on forward up towards Shriver. Gets pushed down in the back by Milan Roberts. Free kick for the Rowdies.
I think Saragosa's heading up over to take this one. No, in fact, he's left it now for George Ristov.
Ristov with the free kick here. There's jostling for the position inside that penalty area as the ball comes in, and Van Oekel choosing to punch that one. He did get decent distance on it, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Rowdies.
Most importantly, he just got the punch out. I don't think he got the best contact, but the most important thing is it didn't go out in front of goal. He got it off to the side where he couldn't get hurt by it.
Throw-in from Herzog. He is going to win a corner kick for his team. Early corner in the second half for Stuart Campbell's team, who's pleased with the finish to that first half, he told us. A little disappointed in the first half of it, but hoping his team can continue the resurgence that they showed early in the second half. Ball in by Ristov. Again, Van Oekel getting his hand to it, but perhaps not with the distance that he would have liked, but well aided by his defense there, who get the ball clear.
Well, he's fortunate there. He had a weak punch, but the ball fell kindly for him. The Eddies were able to get it out. Fell to a blue-shirted player.
That's going to work out nicely for the Rowdies there, but in fact Roberts in the end making the clearance. The ball back with Agbusamonde.
Tampa with a lot of the ball in the first couple of minutes here in the half. Pretty exclusively holding possession of the ball.
Sweat's done well there, finds Herzog back for Agbusamonde, and now Makanda Weary. Schreiber's dropped deep to claim that one. It's Bolchin on the right-hand side. Back in for Makanda Weary. Good beginning to the second half by the Rowdies. Roberts is going to let that one run in a touch. Goal kick for Edmonton. 1 goal to the good, 1-0 lead. And we've played 48 minutes. Coach Colin Miller still suggesting that there could be substitutions for his team, even with a 1-0 lead, mentioning in particular Pablo Cruz. Hasn't played a full game for a while, so he might be one of the candidates to be replaced at some point in this game.
Yeah, and you wonder if Saini Niasse, we know about his jet lag from his long trip back from the African Cup of Nations, but you wonder if he can give you 20, 30 minutes.
Throw in here for the Eddies. Lang just tosses that ball back for Roberts. Roberts' forward pass, not one of his best, and that's going to be controlled easily by the goalkeeper, Pickens.
It's the difference that you have when you have Daryl Fordyce up top rather than Tomi Amiobi. Tomi Amiobi, you have that huge target. Daryl not quite as tall.
It's been kept in really well there, but Eddie's winning it back, and it's Korea once again. Watson playing it out to the right-hand side. Zeeby gets a touch on it. Here's Cruz. Zaragoza and Sweat doubling up on Cruz. Sweat coming in from behind him there, stealing the ball back for Tampa Bay. And Cruz making the tackle. It's a throw in.
Zeeby just getting up now. He was down for a couple of minutes after, or a couple of seconds after that challenge.
Throwing takes place now on the left-hand side. Korea taking control again for FC Edmonton, and Fordyce bending one with the outside of his right foot, picking out Lang. Lang wide on the left. He's going to try and get around the outside of Bolchin and lifts up the cross to the far post, and just headed behind by Christian Rowdies. Lance Lang providing a spark there on the left wing. Good cross into the middle.
And unlike the first half, we see Lang now in a one-on-one situation. Tampa had brought help pretty well with the entire first half when Lance Lang had the ball, and maybe that's why they had 2 men on him. He was able to somehow wrap a cross around Bolchin there.
Rowdies with the header, just couldn't get the power on it. He was reaching for it and just couldn't quite guide it towards goal. Good touch by Zaragoza, releasing Herzog here, running at the defense. Tackled by Roberts, but picked up again by Guerra, who continues the momentum for Tampa Bay. Guerra's cross blocked by Rowdies, but very well intercepted by Agbusamonde. Got there ahead of Fordyce. Kandawiri under pressure from Lang, but plays it back to his goalkeeper, Pickens. Fires it out to the right-hand side. Hernandez playing that in towards Guerra. And a tussle with Pablo Cruz, but still comfortably in possession, and finds Agbusamonde. Good tackle by Zeeby, well timed on that right-hand side, and he's got a bit of space here. Infield to Rowdies. Rowdies picks out Lang. Bolchin closing him down. Lang's flick not quite working, but now he's released Rowdies. Space to run into on the left-hand side. He's got Fordyce in the middle. Just checks up with the ball, feeling that not enough support in the box. He finds Lance Lang. Lang's going to try and go around the outside here. And in the end, just runs it a touch too far and can't keep the cross in play. It goes behind for a goal kick.
Lang just not able to get around that ball.
Georgie Ristoff for Tampa Bay. Through ball might still work out for Herzog, but out of his goal is Van Oekel, keeps a cool, calm head and finds Johan Smith. Nowhere to go for Smith. He's played it back to Roberts. Roberts just gives it straight back to him, and Smith works himself a throw-in.
And Tampa just putting more pressure on the Eddies in this half. Sort of continuation what we saw last 10 minutes of the first half. Coach Stuart Campbell had told us he didn't know why they started off so slow and why they weren't doing that in the first half hour of the game. Tampa's been a lot more effective when they've been more aggressive. Too passive in the first half hour or so, and it cost them the goal.
Sweat moving in from the left-hand side, finding Herzog. Guerra. FC Edmonton chasing shadows a bit in the first few minutes of the second half, but an interception there by Roberts, who brings the ball forward. Some good footwork from Milan Roberts before he loses possession, but Watson just blasts that one clear. It's very high and it's controlled well by Sweat, who adjusts nicely and plays the ball back to Agbusamonde. Gets it back himself, now Ristoff. Weary here. Zaragoza's forward pass didn't quite work out. Smith winning the ball back for Edmonton. Now Rowdies. He's got Lang on the overlap on the left-hand side. Lang against Bolchin here again. Lang's put in an early cross to the far post. Fordyce has tried to keep it in play with the volley, and he's picked out Korea advancing in the penalty area, but Tampa Bay just doing enough to get that ball clear.
Yeah, Korea's first touch let him down. That ball actually popped out very nicely to him at the top of the penalty area. They tried to control that with the first touch.
Now Fordyce doing extremely well to keep that ball in with a volleyed cutback from that deep cross by Lance Lang. Cruz not really getting a touch there, hasn't had the influence that he did on the first 45 minutes so far, but you can say that about pretty much every Eddies player at the moment. Tampa Bay in the ascendancy. Roberts is just going to let that one run behind, and they will start again from a goal kick. We've played 55 minutes. It's 1-0 to Edmonton.
You can see the Rowdies players from the body language. They're encouraged. They feel that the tide of this game is turning towards them. Turning towards each other, they're applauding each other, giving each other the thumbs up. You can see that they feel there's some gaps there that they can exploit.
Goal kick for Matt Van Oekel here. And he drives it up the left-hand side. Up goes Fordyce and Lance Lang. Rowdies in the end playing that ball forward is very high, but watched well by Makanda Weary. Nods that one forward, and Herzog's played it over the top. Shriver with a half chance here into the penalty area. Watson doing well to put pressure on him, and it's claimed in the end by Matt Van Oekel. He does a good job for Edmonton.
Yeah, Shriver was just taking himself away from goal just a little bit when he had that opportunity, and Watson was able to get the shoulder in. Just push him further outside. That's good defending.
Up goes Fordyce again there, beaten in the air by Makanda Weary, but it might drop for Rowdies. He tries his luck down the left-hand side. A good positive run from Christian Rowdies. He's done extremely well here. Gets into the penalty area, and Tampa Bay just doing enough to recover. But Rowdies has been a threat a couple of times down that left-hand side in the second half. FC Edmonton not playing with Tomi Amiobi today. He's injured, but he's joined us in the box here. Thanks for coming on, Tomi.
Thank you.
And how are you doing?
So I think the coaching staff decided that it'd be best if I rested this game, give me a bit more time to recover.
Not going to take you too long then to get back?
And hopefully not. No, hopefully I'll be training by Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Tommy's going to stay with us for a little bit just to give his analysis on, well, how do you feel the way your team's playing so far?
I think from the off, we've started off very well. We moved the ball very well in the first half, gave them problems going forward as well, which is something that we've struggled to do the past couple of weeks. We've kind of waited for things to happen, whereas today we've gone out and made things happen. I think the little guy, Pablo Cruz in there, has made a big difference for us. He's always one that wants to get on the ball, and obviously with Daryl's movement up top and our wingers, we're always a threat. So yeah, it's been good so far.
And that's the voice of Tomi Amiobi with us for a few minutes of the second half here, watching his team from the sidelines, unfortunately injured, but pleased with the way the Eddies are playing so far. And they're 1-0 in front. Perhaps a bit of a sticky start to the second half. It does appear as though Tampa Bay are just growing into the game a bit more, Tomi.
Yeah, you can tell already they've sent a few more players forward to try and get something early in the second half. I think this is a time in the game where we have to be patient. Defend as a unit, which we generally are good at, and times like this, the counter-attack, make chances like this count. I think as the game wears on and players get tired, we've got some players that can come in off the bench, like your Hansen Borkais and your Sadi Jalalis, that can give us that bit added spark.
There's a tradition here. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, Tomi, but when a player comes up in the booth here, we tend to see the Eddies score.
Oh, well, long may it continue. We've got a good chance from this corner by Lance Lang.
Lance Lang getting a little bit more freedom in the second half. First half, generally there were two markers on him, but second half, as Tampa Bay have gone for it more, he's had a little bit more room, and here he is with a corner kick. Probably not his best one, but he'll get a second attempt here from this left-hand side.
And Tampa Bay still with only one man on the post. Don't seem to have... that's the way they're going to play it. They got burned on it in the first half. Near post, but no one on the far post, just the keeper.
Albert Watson, the man who scored on that occasion. This is another one that's gone deep this time and defended well by Tampa Bay, picked up by Christian Rowdies again. Does it go down the right-hand side? Maybe looking for the free kick there. Referee's having none of that. Wasn't a bad finish by Albert Watson, was it, Tomi? You'd have been pleased with that.
Oh yeah, it was great movement and a nice little touch to send it in the back of the net. Obviously, I'll be asking him if he really meant that one at the end of the game, but yeah, we'll take it. Attacking from corners is something that we've been trying to improve this season, and it's great to see the big man get another goal, and hopefully he's got a few more left in him between now and the end of the season.
Was that one from the training ground? Have you seen him work that before?
I've seen him do that a couple of times in training, so I'll have to give it to him, yeah.
Watson's goal, the difference between the teams as Tampa Bay make their first substitution here. Espinal coming on to replace Robert Hernandez.
And you can see it looks like Herzog is switching sides with Espinal. Herzog moving over to the right.
That substitution brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique. Goes Fordyce. Doesn't win the header on that occasion, but it might drop in the midfield. And it's Tampa Bay again, bringing the ball clear. Watson starts another attack. Correa picking out Cruz. Correa sidestepping his man nicely, but felt he should have had a free kick. Referee waves it on, and it's Herzog, and this is dangerous here for the Tampa Bay. In the end, maybe caught in two minds there as the ball is played through, and they don't make the most of it. What are you thinking for the last half hour here, Tomi, for Edmonton?
Yeah, like I was saying, it looks as though Tampa are starting to put a bit more pressure on us. They're sending more and more players forward, so that's something that we have to be cautious of. You can see Eddie Edwards is in there to sort of be that sort of insurance policy, and obviously Christian Rowdies beside him will help him with that leg work. But at the same time, we've still got to have that offensive threat. So I think it's important that we just don't sit back with a long goal. We be smart about how we play our game from now on, but we definitely look to get another one to try and kill the game.
Do you think we'll probably see substitutions? Colin Miller talked about Cruz not often playing 90 minutes, that he might be a candidate to be replaced at some point here.
Yeah, obviously he's been out for a while, so as the game wears on, it's only natural that his legs will start to go a bit, and I think that's when the coaches, they have a substitution plan, and they've got something in place to try and spark a bit of life back into the game, to try and get us another goal, but at the same time to ensure that we keep what we've got.
Van Oekel clearing this one up the right-hand side, and Darryl Fordyce chasing that one again. Gets a good head on that, but then is taken down late, and the free kick is given to Edmonton.
They say Bustamante got across him there. Have a look here on the replay. Darryl judges the bounce well, and yeah, Bustamante a little bit late, coming in off the back. See, just Tampa's pressing a lot more now. Willing to commit more players forward, just yellow jerseys now at Edmonton's half. We didn't see that in the first half hour of the game, where they were sitting back quite a bit and allowing the Eddies to play out of their own half fairly easily. You see those yellow jerseys now really trying to pressure whoever's got the ball. And as this keeps going, it will give the Eddies some chances to launch some counterattacks and maybe isolate someone.
Schreiber caught offside there. Free kick for Edmonton. We'll let you get back to watching the game. Tommy, maybe just some final comment. Where do you think we might see you again playing?
Hopefully next weekend against Indy. That's what the physio staff have sort of said is the timeline. All depends on how the knee holds up over the next couple of days. So, yeah.
Great. Well, hopefully you'll be back out there soon. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
It's Tommy Amiobi joining us in the commentary box. Did a pretty good job as well on his debut for City TV here in the box with Stephen I, and he's going back to watch his teammates from the stands, and hopefully back in action next weekend, the Eddie's top goal scorer. Thanks for joining us. If you're watching on City Television or World FM in Edmonton, and special welcome to all our viewers on ESPN3 across the US. Tampa Bay trying to make something happen from the left-hand side this time. Another cross into the area, and they're definitely probing away, and as Tony says, the Eddies under the cosh a bit here. Guerra on the edge of the penalty box, still going, but they get another challenge in, and it's Lang who brings this one away. It's going to be a throw-in for Tampa Bay.
But the numbers are coming forward. Tampa's committing more yellow jerseys forward. And as Tommy said, this is where you have to be patient. So just keep your shape, and then see once they've committed men forward if you can get them on the counterattack. That's something the Eddies have done with a lot of success this year.
Guerra arriving just in time on the edge of the area. He's hit the angle. What a good shot. It's still up there to be won, but it's driven wide this time, and that's another warning shot, as if the Eddies needed it. Tampa Bay in the ascendancy in the second half. It's a beautiful curler with the outside of his boot, but it hits the framework where the bar and the post meet, and that's desperately unlucky from Guerra, the closest the Rowdies have come to a goal.
The Eddies have it with a bad giveaway on their own wing there, on their own right wing. Gives Tampa the ball back pretty quickly, and you're right, Guerra lets the shot go, and he has Van Oekel beat, but just pushes it a couple of inches too far.
Very nice technique with the outside of the boot, and you can see Colin Miller, the Eddie's coach, on the touchline is screaming and shouting, trying to get his defense to move forward a bit. It seems as though he feels like they're playing perhaps a touch too deep and inviting this attacking play by the Rowdies in this second half. Chance here for the Eddies, though. Cruz getting possession. Now Correa. Wasn't a bad effort. Long range. And in the end, Pickens got down well to his left to make the save. But it's not a great throw out by Pickens. Rowdies thought that he'd won the ball fairly. But in fact, the referee has given a free kick to Tampa Bay. And Guerra is the man who was adjudged to have been fouled.
So it's a break there. It was a very poor throw out by Matt Pickens there. Puts his player in a lot of trouble. And And really, Guerra's going to look at Rowdies for the foul, but he's got to look at his own keeper and say, "Are you trying to kill me out there with that pass out? That was what you call the medicine ball."
Nunez coming in for Shriver, a second substitution for Tampa Bay, and that substitution brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique, Jasper Avenue and 104th Street. Shriver held off the score sheet for once in a game against FC Edmonton. He'll play no further part in the game. There's Nunez wearing number 7 for the Rowdies. Good movement from Tampa Bay in the second half, and FC Edmonton struggling to get possession of the ball.
Remember the Eddies, I guess still like now the only playoff game in their history. Back in their first season, I think that would have been 2010, and Brian Shriver absolutely ripped them open with Fort Lauderdale Strikers in that playoff game.
Lang winning the ball back for Edmonton here. Finding Alan Zeeby. Watson's going to have to play that one back for Van Oekel. Saved by his woodwork. It's all a part of the keeper's armory.
Fordyce is pretty angry. He got knocked down off the ball. I believe that was by, or just a few seconds ago, he was knocked down off the ball by Makindaware, and he's pretty angry. And he came in with that leap for that ball, wondering why it was no call. I don't think either the ref or any of the officials on the sidelines were looking toward him. It was pretty hot.
Difficult game for Fordyce today. A little bit isolated at times there, especially in the second half, where he hasn't really had much of the ball. I'm sure at this stage in the game, Colin Miller considering substitutions as well. Stuart Campbell already making 2. So far, the Eddies playing with the 11 players that started the match. Smith, a poor pass from the edge of his penalty area. Bolchin playing in the cross, but away by Watson. Korea's done well again on that right-hand side, and that's a cheeky little backheel to pick out Rowdies.
Rowdies gets no help there. He ends up being surrounded by a group of yellow jerseys after Korea plays him into a good spot.
So here's that substitution we were thinking that might happen, and it's going to now. Very good effort by Pablo Cruz today, and he's going to be replaced by Saini Niasi.
Niasi played for was with the Gambian national team.
Substitution brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique. And there goes Cruz to a good round of applause, and replaced by Niasi, who could perhaps give that injection of pace on the right wing now. It looks like Korea moving in towards the middle, and Niasi going straight to the right wing to try to put some pressure on that right-hand side. There's Kareem Moses, one of the injured players at the moment for FC Edmonton, but in the stands there, and he's realized that he's on camera and watching his team with the supporters today. Zeeby playing that ball forward, but it was more in desperation than anything else. And it's Agbusamonde picking up the play for Tampa Bay, who definitely had the better of the second half to date. Played 71 minutes. The score remains 1-0 to Edmonton.
It's just the way Kareem Moses is, isn't it? He just loves the club so much that he decides that he's going to watch the game with the supporters in the supporters section.
Niasi getting his first touch on the right-hand side, and the cross being deflected into the penalty box. Makanda Weary, routine header away from the danger zone. Yeah, what a great character he is for the club. Moses always got a smile on his face.
Sings a lot too. You're at practice, you can hear him sing.
Well, we've captured him on camera dancing more than one time as well in the pre-game warm-ups. Lang's a little bit late, to say the least, in that challenge. The referee on the spot, and that is going to be a definite yellow card for Lance Lang, and he doesn't have too many arguments about it, and that's in frustration more than anything else. And a very late challenge there as Bolchin touched the ball away from him, and he's nowhere near it.
Yeah, there's really no complaints about getting a card there. Very late with the challenge.
Bolchin absolutely fine. He's back up, didn't make a meal of it or anything like that. And the yellow card has been given to Lance Lang. The chance for Georgi Hristov from this free kick. Edmonton just struggling a little bit to get going in this first half. Just seemed to have lost a little bit of zip and energy and stamina that they showed in that first half. Tampa Bay definitely in control, although they made one goal down.
We talked off the top of the show how important it is for the Eddies to get 3 points today, not one. That's why they need to hold on to this lead. They can get within 2 points in the postseason spots if they win today.
Within 2 points of Tampa Bay as well, if they can notch that 3 points that they're hoping for at home. Edward showing a burst there and tries to thread it inside the fullback. It's going to be cleared, but only as far as Fordyce. Fordyce hits one from long range, it's deflected, doesn't drop for Lang, it might for Niassi, but he just sort of bobbles it and doesn't get the kind of connection that he would have liked.
I think Balchan might have got a touch to that, to knock that away from Lance Lang on the rebound. Great save. You see here Fordyce with the shot, and yeah, I think there's just a little bit, Balchan just in the right place at the right time to keep Lang from tapping in a rebound.
Very good effort by Fordyce, getting a look at goal and no hesitation, just fired a rasping drive. And it was a very good stop by Pickett, who was very alert there. Herzog jostling for the ball with Smith. Smith getting the tackle, Herzog going down under the challenge, but the referee doesn't see that as a free kick, and Lang has played the ball forward to Fordyce. Fordyce in possession on the left-hand side as he brought down by Agbusamonde. Referee says there's nothing wrong with that. It's a throw-in for the Rowdies.
The referee says fair challenge.
One-0 is the Edmonton lead with 15 minutes to go in this match. It's a bit of a nerve-jangling finish for the Eddies in this second half.
I'd say Balchan has had a bit of a bloody nose there. Had some work done.
Lovely turn by Guerra. Herzog on the right. Bolchin. Very well played 1-2 by Bolchin. He's switched it across to the left side. Things look to be opening up there for the Rowdies, but the flag immediately up against Nunez.
A lot of Edmonton hands up as that ball was being played.
Good kick for Edmonton, but Bolchin getting things moving down that right-hand side, and not a bad through ball too, but the offside given.
But more warning shots. We're seeing them all throughout this half from Tampa.
Fordyce underneath the long ball forward by Van Oekel, but muscled out of it again, and Herzog playing the ball forward to Hristov. Hristov pushing it wide to the left here as Tampa Bay attempt to go down that flank again. Niassi making the covering challenge, and it's a throw-in.
That's about as close to an illegal throw that they get away with as I've seen. I mean, we know illegal throws are sort of like traveling in the NBA. They never get called, but wow, that was sticking it in the linesman's face, that one with Tampa.
That definitely looked like a foul throw. Haven't really seen one given for a long time. They just don't seem to happen anymore. But
no, as I said, it's like NBA traveling. They don't happen. I mean, they happen all the time, but they never get called. I see it a lot. Where I'm like, wow, that throw-in is not what you're supposed to do.
Watson makes a misunderstood pass there, but makes amends with the challenge. But it's Guerra picking it up. Just a little bit sloppy and casual at the moment, Edmonton, and Tampa Bay could punish them for it if they're not careful here. Ristov again from the left-hand side, cut out by Rowdies, and here's Niassi, and that's not his best pass either in those teal-coloured boots he's wearing today. And Coach Colin Miller deciding that a substitution's needed here to shore things up for the Eddies. And we are going to see Rowdies being replaced by Granito coming on. This substitution brought to you by the help.
Good shift here by Rowdies. I think he's had a pretty good game in the middle of the park. But now just some fresh legs to help the Eddies get to the finish line in this one. Surprised a bit that Granito didn't get a call to El Salvador during the last round of World Cup qualifying, considering he was he's been part of the setup in the past.
Busamonde in possession here, right on the center spot, finding Herzog. And a weary now. Zaragoza approaching the last 10 minutes. Granito just settling into the midfield. Very steady play, a good passer of the ball, and that's what Colin Miller's going to want him to do, is slow things down a bit and keep the ball a bit more for FC Edmonton. There's Land playing a beautiful pass over the top of the defense. Fordyce being blocked out by Busamonde. Nothing wrong with that. He wasn't probably going to get there anyway with Pickens.
No, and Busamonde kept his path to the ball. He didn't go out of his way. Just good defending, made himself big.
Nunez here for Tampa Bay, and now Guerra. Polchin's in all kinds of space again on the right-hand side, but Guerra has it back in the middle. Granito, his first touch is a good one, winning it back for FC Edmonton. Correa's pass, though, intercepted. Tampa Bay dominated possession in this second half.
It's an absolute reverse of the first half, where we saw FC Edmonton dominate possession in the first half. Tampa's had a lot of the ball in the second.
Nunez here. Herzog. First touch lets him down. It's won back by FC Edmonton. Niassi won't get there, though. It's with Ben Sweat. Weary looking for Georgi Ristov. Watson's header away is a routine one on the chest of Correa. Correa being leaned out from behind, but kicks out the pass to Eddie Edward, who wins a free kick. That'll slow things down a little bit for FC Edmonton, who are going to make another substitution here.
Frank Johnson coming in for Daryl Fordyce. As he said, it's been a long day for Fordyce. He's been a lone figure up there. It's a thankless job. Had a really good look at goal, though, with that shot that Pickens saved about 5 minutes ago.
Had a good tussle with Busamonde, and I noticed he shook his hand on the way off. Good sporting gesture from both men there. As Fordyce, who's done yeoman's work up front again for FC Edmonton, gets replaced by Frank Jonke, whose physical presence is going to be needed in these last 10 minutes of the match.
Means we're not done.
Granito drills one out to the right-hand side, looking for Niassi. Sweat backpedaling, gets a good head on that one, guides it forward, but it's picked up by Alan Zeeby. And now Edward. Forward pass goes awry, but the advantage played. Still with Jonke in the penalty area, and he's trying to adjust to get the shot away. In the end, Tampa Bay get that one clear. It was almost like that whole thing happened in slow motion, but a good advantage in the final analysis by the referee. The Eddies did have it, but just didn't make the most of it.
No, it's well refereed there. We'll see if he pulls this one back, if he has anything to say to the Tampa player on the foul, but that's the way it's supposed to be done. We didn't see that last week, and I know there was a big stir when they didn't play advantage, when Edmonton had a chance clearing on goal.
That was a big bone of contention at the time. Daryl Fordyce didn't like the decision, but moments after, he was to score anyway in injury time with that free kick. Herzog, edge of the penalty area, dispossessed by Watson. Bobbling ball forward. Granito just does enough to get it back from Guerra.
Tampa wanted the handball call there. See their players looking toward the linesman saying, "You didn't see that?" I think the ruling was that was ball to hand.
Still 1-0 for Edmonton with 8 minutes now left at Clarke Stadium. Guerra has come the closest, hitting the angle, the frame of the goal. And so far, they haven't been able to put one past Van Oekel, and they trail 1-0. Despite all the possession and good football they played in the second 45 minutes, Herzog looks like he was several yards offside there. Flag slow going up, but the offside has been given.
He knew he was offside. You can see when he chased that ball, but he didn't chase that ball. You can see Matt Van Oekel showing what a hurry he's in to get this free kick off.
Waving Granito and others forward. He's just going to put his foot through this one. Into the last 7 minutes now. Going high in the Alberta sky. Up goes Frank Yonke. And wins possession. Edward forward to Lance Lang on the chest. And now Granito playing it back for Lang. Lang in another tussle with Bolchin here. Finds Correa. Now Johan Smith. Good close control. Passing in triangles by the Eddies. But Smith, in the end, adjudged to have fouled Nunez, and Tampa Bay with a free kick here. They're going to make another substitution. That's Zach Boggs replacing Corey Herzog, and that substitution brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique.
Another set of fresh attacking legs.
With another touch, but that's picked up by Makanawiri. Pass going astray, and it's Lang again. He's tackled from behind by Boggs. Referee says that's fair. In comes the cross towards the penalty area, but Van Oekel will control that before picking it up. To kill a few more seconds for FC Edmonton, approaching the last 5 minutes of the game at Clarke Stadium. A slender 1-0 lead.
Nerve-wracking game for the supporters. Tampa's really put a lot of pressure on this second half.
John winning the ball there for Edmonton, feeding it to Granito, who's fired a pass the outside of his right boot to Niasse. Couldn't adjust and get his body in the way of it. It's gone into touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Tampa Bay.
But you just got to think that Tampa's really going to... We're bringing more men forward now, but they're really going to be rolling the dice now at the stage we're at in the game, and there will be openings in the back for Edmonton if they can possess the ball and get the ball deep on a quick counterattack. There will be numbers, a numerical advantage they'll have in the Tampa end.
Nunez in possession here, and now Bolchin spotted a good run forward by Saragossa, but let's give it up the chase. Won't get to that one. It's going to be a goal kick.
That's one of those balls you play when you train on grass all the time. That's going to check up for you, but on this turf, that's just not going to slow down.
Good night, Marcelo. You're sitting there now. Let one go.
But to be fair, a lot of teams in this league play on turf, so it's not like it's a new experience for the teams coming in.
Van Oekel with another goal kick. Going straight up the middle towards Jonke again, gets his head on it. Bolchin putting it back in the Eddies half, drops for Granito. Good accurate pass, and then gets the ball back. Pulls a nice trick, and he's away on the left-hand side here with Lang overlapping. They've got two men in the box, and Jonke's one of them, Niasse's the other. It misses both of them.
Yeah, behind one and just a little too far in front of the other. Lance Lang with that cross ended up bisecting those two perfectly.
Very good break forward by Granito.
It's a little dummy on the ball, and then it freed him.
Watson with the header forward this time. And you can see there the Tampa Bay Rowdies have dominated possession. That's confirmation, 54% to the Eddies, 46%.
I'm sure most of that's in the second half, that they made that up.
Oh, Smith's done well to get around Bolchin here and then slips at a crucial moment with Jonke free in the middle. A lovely break by him and great determination to get around the back, but then just couldn't keep the
It's
composure.
not the first time we've seen that happen on this turf here this year, where a player is in, and I think Smith has hurt himself, where a player just loses his footing.
Hasn't got up yet from that challenge, but Van Oekel choosing not to put the ball into touch. Finds Granito, and now Eddie Edward. And Smith still limping, and at the other end his team are in trouble with Christoph.
I don't understand when the Eddies had the ball why they didn't just kick that in touch. They have a player hurt at the other end, and they're playing short right now.
And Roberts heading on away from the danger zone. Niassi gets there, and he's going to have a go at Sweat here and wins the throw in for FC Edmonton. Smith just about now making his way, you can see him there, over the halfway line, back into his own half.
But when Granito had the ball and tried to play it out, that's one where you just got to hoof that in the touch. And you got a player down there. And it also hurts you. He's laying down there, but he's actually in an offside position. It changes the way you can play. If you launch a ball down in his direction, you're going to be offside. Even though he's down, he's on the field to play.
Yes, he's kept that ball in right by the touchline. The edge of the box is Korea. Zeeby arriving. Niassi again. Tries to have another go, wins a throw-in on the right wing. We're into the last minute of play. There will be some stoppages. Nunez for Tampa Bay. Christoph and Boggs in the penalty area. Christoph getting his head to it, and it goes wide for a goal kick to Edmonton, and Van Oekel won't be in a hurry to take this one.
No, he won't be. Got time in the last minute of regulation time. We'll see how much time is going to be added. The fourth official, Drew Fisher, is just preparing the clock.
It's going to drop for Jonke, but the referee saying there was a handball in the play, and the free kick is for the Rowdies. Stuart Campbell telling him to get the ball forward from his technical area as quickly as possible. And in fact, Pickens has come almost to halfway to take this, and they'll throw everyone forward here.
Only 2 minutes of time added on.
Played 90 minutes. We are into stoppage time. 2 minutes left. Lang has won a goal kick for Edmonton. And again, Van Oekel won't race to play this one.
I'm sure the conspiracy theorists will note that when Edmonton was trailing against Minnesota, there was 5 minutes of time added on last week, and now they're up. And you can see Stuart Campbell's got a problem. He's like, not even 3. He looks at he looks at Drew Fisher, who's the fourth official, and says there's only 2 minutes.
There really weren't very many injuries in the second half, though, where there've been any lengthy stoppages.
But it is true. You very rarely see less than 3. Usually 3 is the default number when there's not much that goes on.
Push in the back by Roberts on Christoph, and a free kick to Tampa Bay here. They'll get everyone forward for this too. It's considered a bit too far for the goalkeeper to take. It's going to be Christoph. Just dinks it forward with a little chip away by Jonke. One back with the flag up. Free kick given there. Looks like a handball. And the Edmonton team with a free kick and a 1-0 lead. And we are now in the dying seconds of stoppage time at Clarke Stadium.
Yeah, Lance Lang held his arm up right away. Said this is a handball, and yeah.
Linesman's flag up, referee on the spot too, saying that his arm helped him control it there.
Yeah, I think Matt Van Oekel's trying to take off the whole 2 minutes here to taking this free kick, or what's left of it.
He's driven that one straight into touch. It's going to be a throw-in for the Rowdies here.
Stuart Campbell pointing to his watch saying, I hope you've been watching this, ref, that they've been taking their time and they just hoofed the ball into touch.
Jonky steals possession there for FC Edmonton, and Granito, fresh pair of legs, and he's driven that one through looking for Niassi, who had carved through the middle, but it's been blocked out. Van Oekel's going to come to the edge of his penalty area to kick that one away from Nunez, and there was a slight moment of concern there as Watson wasn't quite sure if he was there or not. But that is the end of the match. FC Edmonton take 3 points and move to within 2 points of a playoff spot. And these are 3 very important points. The goal from the captain, Albert Watson, an excellent volley. The difference between the teams as FC Edmonton beat Tampa Bay by 1-0.
Yeah, it's job done. I mean, in the end, it's 3 points to the home team, and they're going to look at this as a very valuable result. They win the season series against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and you know, Tampa Bay will look at their season if they do miss the playoffs, and they'll say, we missed some opportunities against FC Edmonton. We have Kareem Moses there with the supporters group, enjoying himself.
Clean sheet for Matt Van Oekel. He shakes hands with Granito, who came on and did a very good job as a substitute in the last 20 minutes or so.
And it needs to be said that Tampa had a lot of the ball, a lot of pressure in the second half, but not a lot of killer scoring opportunities off of that possession. They had a lot of balls they probed into the penalty area and such, but nothing that really made Matt Van Oekel work very hard.
Eddie Edward, another good game in the midfield as he shakes the hand of Agbosamonde and the officials. And FC Edmonton celebrating 3 points, a 1-0 victory over Tampa Bay Rowdies, in spite of being under a lot of pressure in that second half. Let's hear from the Rowdies coach, Steve.
Coach, you had a lot more pressure in the second half, but just weren't able to find that goal.
Yeah, so we had a lot of pressure. We played at the tempo I want to play at. We hit the woodwork. We got in some good positions, but for whatever reason, we didn't take enough shots at goal, which was a little bit frustrating, bearing in mind we were in some decent shooting opportunities.
And where do you go from here? I mean, obviously disappointing result, but sort of through maybe what's the hardest road trip of the year for a team from the Southeast?
Yeah, obviously it's a tough road trip, but all in all, we feel a bit unlucky not to get at least a point from the game. As I said, we give away a bad goal from our point of view. We grew into the first half, and second half I thought we were very dominant, so we're disappointed to be going away with at least a point.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Stuart Campbell, former Rowdies player as well, now the manager, and feeling like his team did enough to perhaps squeak a point out of it, but in the end couldn't beat Matt Van Oekel, who gets a clean sheet for FC Edmonton, who win 1-0 with that volley goal by Albert Watson. Let's talk to Coach Colin Miller for FC Edmonton. Colin, just your thoughts on the performance today.
A bit nervy in the second half. I thought that we've certainly played better, but from a defensive point of view, we basically shut up shop. So I was overall very, very pleased with the attitude of the players, and in terms of how we went about our work. I would like to have seen a couple of more goals getting to the other end, but you know, Tampa Bay are a very good side, and it's a valuable 3 points. We know the significance of winning at home, and to do that against the Rowdies is really, really important, and it keeps us in the mix, which is what we're all about. You know, they've come off a fantastic result against the Cosmos last week, and now we have to prepare to go to Indy on Saturday, which will be very difficult as well, because they've got a fantastic crowd, and they're in the mix as well.
Just a word on the goal from your skipper today. Nice volley ball from that corner kick.
Yeah, we work on it every day, and you know, I've taught them all how to do that. You know, basically a sclaff off the inside of the foot. So I don't care how they go in at this point, Gareth. And if the big fella scores every week, I'll be a happy guy. But overall, it was a positive team performance here today. That, you know, wouldn't single anybody out. I just thought it was a solid, professional performance against a very good team.
Thanks, Colin.
Thank you.
Coach Colin Miller, very pleased to get 3 points for FC Edmonton, and we'll be back with the man of the match after the break. The Eddies 1-0 winners over Tampa Bay. Welcome to our post-game show at Clarke Stadium. There's Edmonton owner Tom Fath racing towards the fans, showing some good pace there on the pitch for the Eddies. And the players celebrating 3 points today, a 1-0 win over the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Welcome to our post-match show, brought to you by Matakana Scaffolding. And let's introduce you to our man of the match, brought to you by The Helm. And there he is, Albert Watson. Well played today, Albert. Let's begin with that goal. What a nice volley. Talk us through it.
Just got across the man and put it in the bottom corner. Just you get in front of the man and you just try and direct it into the bottom corner and across the goalkeeper. So I was lucky enough I went in.
Yeah, what a nice finish, though. That was a pretty good feeling and turned out to be a really important goal. How important is this 3 points for your team?
Of course, we needed 3 points today. We knew that if we didn't get 3 points today, we were away behind, and that's not good enough. So we need to keep this going. Like we even said at half time, if we hold out this game to 3 points, we still have a lot of work to do. And I just remember beating them 1-0 down there, and then coming back to Clarke field and getting beat 3-1 by Atlanta, and that can't happen. So we need to keep our standards very high and keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Get 3 points the next game and see where it takes us.
Albert, Steve Sandor here. Tomi Amiobi was in the booth with us, and he was saying he might have a question with you if you really meant to put it in that bottom corner like that.
Well, you can see it in the camera that get across the man. That's the only place. It's the only place it was going to score, isn't it? Across the goalkeeper. If I had to put the other corner, the goalkeeper was already there to save it. So it's just getting across the man and being aggressive in the box, as the gaffer says. And once you do that bit, it's half the battle, and you just have to direct it into the corner. I know it's easier said than done, but once you get across that man, it's and you know the contact I got on it, it was brilliant. So as the more I see it, the better a finish it was as I see it. So I think I'm wasted at centre back.
Well played today, Albert. Well done.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Garth.
Yeah,
Thanks,
well,
Steve.
Albert Watson, the man of the match, and what a nice goal as well. A volleyed shot from a corner kick, and Tomi just giving him a bit of needle there when he was up with us in the box. But very important goal and a critical 3 points for FC Edmonton. Let's look back on the highlights, brought to you by Oodle Noodle. And here it is again. Fans be happy to see this as much as you like.
Yeah. And the more he sees it, the more he feels wasted at centre back.
Well, you can see why he's feeling pretty confident after that finish, and you can see the players there very happy to see their skipper get on the score sheet. Definite chances for Tampa Bay in this game. Agbusamonde there in the first half. That's Cruz going close with a shot, and here's where they almost tied it up.
That was Guerra with the shot. He said right where the post meets the crossbar.
Excellent save from Fordyce by Pickens there. Surprise effort from long range, but he got down very impressively to make that stop. Strong wrist there with the save. And that is how it ends. 3 points. Skipper Albert Watson, the only goal of the match, and giving his team a victory at home today. Now, the save of the match, brought to you by Sterling Homes. And there is Pickens again, and it was a good stop. Low to his right. Those can be awfully difficult, but he got in behind it well, Steve.
Yeah, it was a great save from Pickens, and Lang just got a little bit too deep. I mean, obviously can't predict where that rebound's going to go, which is maybe a couple of feet too deep to really be able to knock in that rebound.
And the players signing autographs, and no doubt thrilled to be victorious again at home here at Clarke Stadium. And that is the difference in the league standings. Look at that. The fall standings, Eddie's taking over 4th spot there on a day that it was Canadian Armed Forces Day at Clarke Stadium. And it turned out to be a good day for Edmonton. Albert Watson's goal, the difference between the teams. 3 points for the Eddies, who strive and march towards a playoff place after the 3 points today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.